Here we go for our first reading ELA English Language Arts video for this week. Today we are reviewing Dwb Boxes. I know this is something we've already done, but I want to use this week to review it because by the end of the week you're going to be doing one on your own. Alright? Remember, we use a Dwb box to answer extended response questions. Today I am just going over a PowerPoint. I'm going to pull it up on my iPad and you're going to be able to follow through with me. Okay, and then at the end of the video, I'll talk about what the rest of the week will look like, okay? This is just review. You don't have to do anything with it. Just watch, and then we'll keep going as the week goes on, okay? All right, the first thing we are going to review is why we use this strategy. So this strategy helps you really think about what the question is asking and will guarantee that you answer every part of the question every time, because when you're answering these extended response questions, you do not want to forget a step. This is what our Dwb box looks like. I want you to pay attention. I'm going to pull up this pointer here so I can talk to you. There's one big box all the way around, and then there are 3 boxes at the top and one big box where you will actually write your answer. So let's talk a little bit about what goes in each box. Okay, and your first box is your do box. The middle one is what, and the last one is because. So altogether you have DWB, which is why we call it a DWB box. And then this box at the bottom is where you will write your complete sentences. The first box, do. These are your power verbs that we see in questions. Identify, describe, calculate, determine, evaluate. All those fancy power, action, do words are what you write in this box. Okay, can you think of any more? Try and think for a second about any other power verbs or do words that you can think of or that you might have seen. If there's someone around you, tell them. If no one is around, just shout it out into the open air. Okay, perfect. Next box. What? This is where you put what the question is asking. It got a little cut off there. For example, I think that's supposed to say Mr. Hawk, but I think it got a little messed up. So Mr. Hawk's feelings about the dinner change from the beginning to the end of the passage. Explain how and why his feelings change. So that would be our prompt or our question that we need to answer. If you're writing a response, it's normally called a prompt. So the first thing we need to figure out is our do word. So what's our fancy power action verb that's telling us what we need to do? Sometimes it's at the beginning and sometimes it's not. In this case, it's not in the very first sentence. It's not until the second sentence. Okay? And it says, explain how and why his feelings change. Okay? So what is our do word? Explain. Now, the what box. What do we need to explain? We need to explain how and why his feelings change. So in our first box, in our do box, we would have explain. And in our what box, we would have how and why his feelings change. Okay, and I need to include how and why. Sometimes in our what box, there's more than one thing. Last box, because or bullet. This is where you include your answers in bulleted form. They do not have to be in complete sentences. They can just be little thoughts, quick little notes that you want to put about your answer. Okay, you'll take your bullets and you'll put them down in your answer box, which is this box down here. Okay, so these are just quick thoughts about what we need to include when we actually write our complete sentences. Now, when you're filling in your Dwb box, you do not want to take too much time because what you really want to focus on is your writing down here. If you spend all of your time up here, you're not going to have any time down here to actually write. But you do need to take time to make sure you're answering all 3 of those boxes correctly.